Joining us now to continue the conversation, founder of Israel 365 and Newsmax columnist Rabbi Tuly Weisz. Rabbi, welcome. I understand you just got off a flight from Israel, so thank you for coming to us. You must be a little tired. But I know that you are a graduate of Yeshiva University, both in their rabbinic school and their law school. So I bet you have some strong personal feelings about this case.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a big difference between the rabbinical school and the law school. The law school, Cardoza, Benjamin Cardoza School of Law, is a very secular place, and there's Jewish students and there's non-Jewish students. However, the yeshiva is the only Orthodox rabbinical university in America. It's the only seminary that is putting out Orthodox rabbis, and my classmates, my colleagues who study there are completely devoted to their Torah study and are not looking for the government to be, pushing an agenda, meddling in the culture, and it's a big problem. And I know that the students there are the rabbinical students are very, very upset.
So you must see both sides of the argument here. So how do you think this should play out?
Well, certainly, and you had a law school professor who could explain all of the intricacies of the law, but I mean, it's ridiculous already because this is a rabbinical school and there's just no place for the government to be pushing the agenda of what is Judaism and what Judaism needs to include. That's just not the place for the government. That's politics, and there's no room for that in a rabbinical seminary. It's the only one. It's the only one in America, and we need to preserve it. Jews have very traditional family values, and homosexuality is a major, major issue in the Jewish community because we have to show compassion and love for the individuals who are struggling with that. But as an institution and as a movement that has become so politicized, that is something for the yeshiva and the rabbis there to decide and not for the court to decide.
And you said it's not for the government to push an agenda on the school.
Absolutely.
Yeah. While we have you here, Rabbi, I know this is something also that is you are passionate about, and so many people are. It was exactly 2 years ago today that former President Trump made history in his fight for the Middle East, for peace specifically, signing the so-called Abraham Accords. We hear a lot about them. It was an historic agreement between Israel and the United Arab Emirates and beyond. Now, in your opinion, have the Abraham Accords been successful?
Absolutely. President Trump, as an Israeli, so I was born here in America, but as an Israeli, I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to tell the Newsmax viewers how much Israelis appreciate President Trump. He did more for Israel and the Middle East than any president. And the moving of the embassy to Jerusalem, the Golan Heights, recognizing the Golan Heights, the pulling out of the Iran Accords, and of course, the Abraham Accords is really the sort of the cherry on the top. And it's historic for three main reasons. It's historic because it sort of shattered the myth that Israel could only achieve peace if it goes through the Palestinians. And that's a very dangerous myth because that gives any terrorist with a knife the opportunity to veto peace in the Middle East. Secondly, it's important because it also shattered the other lie that Israel has to give away land in order to achieve peace. And with the Abraham Accords, we didn't give away any land. And then finally, it's really significant because unlike all of the other peace that Israel has achieved with the Jordanians, with the Palestinians, with the Egyptians, it's a very cold peace, whereas the Abraham Accords and the peace with the UAE and Bahrain and Morocco, it's very warm. There's a lot of tourism going back and forth and a lot of big business opportunities that are happening, and Israelis are just thrilled.
Wow. Would it be the right interpretation that this is like a 21st century approach to the Middle East when so many people are still trying to go back to 1948?
Exactly. The State Department approach and all of these insiders who were kind of setting policy for decades and didn't accomplish anything. And then under President Trump's administration, you had all these outsiders. And it wasn't despite their lack of experience. It was precisely because of their lack of experience that they approached this with a new way. And you had people like Jared Kushner and David Friedman, the ambassador. You had these, very traditional Jews working closely with the evangelical community, right? Vice President Pence and Mike Pompeo. And there was this great collaboration that because they were outsiders. Exactly right. And they accomplished the unimaginable. Nobody ever thought that there would be peace, but I just wanted to say that in addition to the political importance of the Abraham Accords, there's a real strong prophetic significance to the Abraham Accords as well, because it says in the Bible that in the end of days, the Jewish people are going to go back to the land of Israel. And when that happens, slowly, there will be a reconciliation between the children of Abraham, Jews, Christians, and Muslims. And we're seeing that today.
Rabbi Weisz, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. September is historically the worst performing month for the stock market, so you better be ready for it. The Fed continues to aggressively raise rates, and JP Morgan is forecasting another mega rate hike September the 21st. Is that why Jamie Dimon said an economic hurricane is coming our way? Well, gold and silver have remained remarkably stable despite the Fed aggressively raising rates today. The Patriot Gold Group has a special incentive for Newsmax viewers. Huge! Now precious metals investors can enjoy the no-fee for life gold and silver IRA on qualifying rollovers, or enjoy free, discreet, insured shipping on all direct gold and silver purchases. Here's the number, 800-356-4470. Call 800-356-4470 today.